Hello and welcome to Nexus. This week we're focusing on Tasmania, the island state of Australia, and on lifestyle. So what's on the program today? We'll take a day trip along the Derwent River in Hobart, look at the works of artist John Glover, and speak to a man who's a friend of the devil. But first, it's a dog's life. Well, it is if you're one of the breeds known as a husky and you're in Hobart for the annual Huskies Picnic.
Hi, my name's Paul. I'm down here in Hobart at the Huskies Picnic to try and give a demonstration of what the Huskies do in harness. This guy, as I said, he's a Siberian Husky. All my guys are Siberian Huskies. Originally, of course, they're from Siberia. All of my guys were actually bred here. I got involved in Huskies when I was married. My wife and I were looking for a dog and found these guys and sort of fell in love with them. And one dog led to 2 dogs, led to 3 dogs, led to 4 dogs, and so far I got 9 dogs.
G'day everybody. Well, it's a real pleasure to be talking about dogs. When I last left Mawson, I thought I'd seen the end of them, and then when Huskies were taken out of Antarctica in 1994, like a lot of other dog runners, I was in a period of mourning for 10 or 20 years. The Huskies are a fantastic part of Antarctic life, and if you've run with the dogs, it's something that'll stay with you forever. They're a tremendous working team, and they're your mates, your cobbers, your workers, and sometimes your boss. Because of Mawson, the sea ice sets beautifully smooth like a skating rink. The dogs can get excellent traction with their toenails, and the sled, of course, has got very little friction. So the sled will fishtail its way down the coast, and eventually they get into a trot of about 5 miles per hour, which is just enough for a human to sort of, keep plodding along next to them occasionally. You're not a good dog runner if you sit on the sled all the time, just because the dogs are your mates, and it's a bit like bludging on your mates. And so on the morning of departure, you've got your sleds down on the sea ice in front of the station, ready packed, and one person stands by the sled and the other person goes up to the dog lines. You know how a dog sits when it sees something? Ears pricked up, eyes wide open, totally excited and just busting. But I've seen blokes weighing 100 kilos literally pulled off their feet by the dog on its way down to the sled. They're so excited. Once they go, they just are amazingly strong. They know when they're going for a run, they'll just stand there and lift their legs and put their harness on. And then when you're all ready to go, the dogs are ready and busting for it, and they're just looking at the humans to see who's going to take a breath and say, "Ready, boys." And "ready, boys" is just the command for them to stand up. And we use the famous expression "mush," which means, giddy up thing. But you never get to say mush, because as soon as you say "ready, boys," you better be standing on the back of this sled and you better be ready to go, because as soon as you say "ready, boys," or as soon as you go, they're up. And I've seen dog teams bolt without humans straight out of the harbour at Mawson over the sea ice, and these things can move 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. They are fast, and once they get going, their tongues are out, their mouths are open, they're grinning and laughing all the way.
Wow, I didn't realise they went so fast. What a way to travel over the snow. Now, John Glover is regarded as the father of Australian landscape painting. He arrived in Tasmania on his 64th birthday in 1831 and began painting the beauty of the Tasmanian landscape. Many of his works were selected for this exhibition at the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery.
John Glover is the father of Australian landscape painting. He is the first professional artist to come to Australia and the first landscape painter to really capture the colour, the light,